Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and I'm pleased to have the opportunity to share insights on the Operational Compliance Test, or OCT today. We'll explore how it ensures not only functional performance but also safety and regulatory compliance. Over the next few slides, we'll cover the key aspects of OCT, its importance, and how it helps us maintain high standards in our operations. Let's get started. Today, I want to introduce you to the concept of OCT, or Operational Qualification Testing. OCT is a systematic process used to verify that equipment or systems are operating correctly and in compliance with both functional and regulatory requirements. Essentially, it confirms that everything works as it should, not just under normal conditions, but also during limit and worst-case scenarios. This is crucial because it ensures the reliability of controls, alarms, interlocks, and automation features, everything that keeps the system safe and effective. It's important to note that OCT is conducted after a successful Installation Conformance Test, or ICT. Think of it as building on that initial verification, moving into a more detailed validation phase. OCT lays the groundwork for the next step, which is Performance Qualification, or PQ. This foundation is vital because it ensures that the system not only functions correctly, but also performs consistently over time, meeting the desired quality standards. In the broader context of ensuring regulatory compliance and operational excellence, OCT is a key step. It helps us verify that our equipment operates reliably and safely, ultimately supporting the overall integrity of our processes. Today, I'll be discussing the purpose of the Operational Compliance Test. First, it's essential to verify that the operation aligns with the User Requirement Specification, or URS, as well as the functional specifications and design qualification. This ensures that everything is built and functions as intended. Next, we want to demonstrate how the equipment responds under defined operational limits, so we can confirm it performs reliably within its expected parameters. It's also crucial to verify that safety interlocks, alarms, and fail-safes are working properly. These safety features are vital to protect personnel and equipment. Additionally, we need to validate the automation logic, including PLCs, SCADA systems, and HMI interfaces, to make sure they operate seamlessly and correctly. Another key point is ensuring that process parameters stay within the acceptance criteria, which helps maintain product quality and process stability. Finally, documenting all these checks and results is fundamental for regulatory inspections, providing a clear record of compliance and readiness. Overall, this test is about confirming that the entire system operates safely, reliably, and in accordance with all specifications, supporting the overall goal of a compliant and efficient process. OCT, or Operational Compliance Testing, typically applies to a wide range of equipment and systems. These include manufacturing and packaging equipment, which are critical to ensuring quality and consistency in production processes. Utilities such as HVAC systems, water for injection, purified water, compressed air, and nitrogen are also covered, because they directly impact product safety and process integrity. Laboratory instrumentation is another key area, as it supports accurate testing and data collection. We also look at SCADA, PLC, and HMI-controlled systems, which are vital for automation and real-time control of manufacturing processes. Process control and monitoring systems fall under OCT as well, ensuring that these systems operate within specified parameters. Inspection, filling, dispensing, and mixing equipment are included because their proper functioning is essential for product quality and compliance. Lastly, any computerized systems related to data integrity are part of the scope, since maintaining accurate, tamper-proof data is fundamental to regulatory compliance and overall system reliability. All these points highlight that OCT isn't just about individual pieces of equipment, but about ensuring the entire manufacturing ecosystem functions seamlessly, safely, and in compliance with industry standards. It's about safeguarding product quality and data integrity across all these interconnected systems. Before we kick off the Operational Qualification, or OCT, there are several key prerequisites we need to ensure are in place. First, we need to have the User Requirements Specification, or URS, along with the Design Qualification and Functional Specification both approved. These documents define what the system is supposed to do and confirm that everything is aligned with our project goals. Next, the Installation Qualification, or IQ, should be completed and approved. This confirms that the equipment has been installed correctly and meets all specifications. It's also essential that we have the OCT protocol itself approved beforehand, so everyone's on the same page about how the testing will proceed. We also need to verify that the calibration status of our instruments is up to date, ensuring accurate measurements during testing. If applicable, FAT and SAT reports should be finalized. These validate that the equipment has passed factory acceptance testing and site acceptance testing. Risk assessment is another critical point. Tools like FMEA or QRM should be completed to identify and mitigate potential risks early on. We must also have standard operating procedures in place for operation, safety, and alarm management to guide safe and consistent handling of the system. Trained operators are a must, along with the availability of all required utilities, things like power, water, compressed air, that are essential for running the qualifications smoothly. In summary, these prerequisites set the foundation for a successful OCT. They help us minimize risks, ensure compliance, and ultimately confirm that the system performs as intended in its operational environment. So, making sure all these elements are checked off before starting the OCT is absolutely vital for a seamless validation process. Now, let's take a closer look at what makes up a complete OCT protocol. First, you'll want to include an equipment or system information sheet. This is where you document all the key hardware and software details. Next, the functional requirement checklist helps ensure that all necessary functionalities are clearly defined and met throughout the process. Moving on, detailed test scripts are essential for guiding each step of testing, making sure everything is thoroughly verified. Acceptance criteria and control limits set the standards for success, so we know when the system is performing within acceptable ranges. Alarm and interlock verification is crucial for safety, confirming that alarms trigger correctly and interlocks function as intended. Automation logic verification ensures that the automated processes behave as programmed, maintaining system integrity. Calibration and sensor status checks are fundamental for accuracy, verifying that sensors are properly calibrated and functioning correctly. The deviation and change control section provides a record of any modifications or deviations, maintaining traceability and compliance. Finally, the summary and compliance report consolidates all findings, offering a comprehensive overview of the testing and validation process. All these elements are structured within the OCT documentation framework, which ensures the protocol is complete, organized, and ready for review. Connecting all these points back to our overall goal, this complete protocol guarantees that our OCT process is thorough, reliable, and compliant with industry standards. Now, let's move on to the verification of equipment readiness. This is a crucial step to ensure everything is in place before we proceed. First, we need to confirm that all utilities, air, power, and water, are available and functioning properly. These are the backbone of our operations, so any issues here could cause delays or problems later on. Next, we conduct instrument calibration checks. Accurate measurements are vital, so we make sure all instruments are properly calibrated and validated. Safety system readiness is also a top priority. We need to verify that all safety devices and protocols are in place and fully operational to protect everyone involved. Additionally, we check the availability of standard operating procedures, manuals, and operators. Having clear, accessible documentation and trained personnel on hand ensures smooth operation and quick troubleshooting if needed. Environmental conditions must also be confirmed. They should meet the specified parameters for temperature, humidity, and cleanliness to maintain the integrity of our processes. If we're working with computerized systems, backup and restore readiness is essential. We need to verify that data backups are current and that restore procedures are tested and effective, so we're prepared for any potential data loss. Finally, we prepare for functional testing. This involves making sure all systems and equipment are ready to undergo tests that validate their performance, ensuring everything functions as expected before we move forward. All these steps are interconnected and vital to a successful operation, reinforcing the importance of thorough verification to support the overall project integrity. Now, when we perform OCT, or operational control testing, we typically verify several critical aspects to ensure everything is functioning as it should. First, we look at the controls and indicators. These are the interface points that allow us to monitor and adjust the system during operation. It's essential that these are accurate and responsive. Next, we check the operational ranges, such as speed, temperature, and pressure, to make sure they stay within safe and optimal limits. Keeping these within specified ranges is vital for both safety and performance. We also review startup and shutdown sequences, ensuring they follow the correct procedures to prevent any mishaps or equipment damage. Proper sequencing is key to a smooth operation. Cycle operations, like mixing, heating, or drying, are another focus. We verify that these processes occur correctly and consistently, as they're often central to the system's purpose. Safety features such as interlocks and emergency stops are critically important. We test these to confirm they activate reliably when needed, providing a safeguard for operators and equipment. Alarms and fail-safe features are also examined. These alert us to issues early on or shut down processes safely if a fault occurs. Power failure and recovery behavior are tested to see how the system responds during outages and how quickly and safely it recovers once power is restored. We also evaluate programmable logic and automation systems, making sure the control logic is correct and that the system responds appropriately to various inputs and conditions. Finally, OCT includes testing specific elements designed for safety and control, what we call OCT test elements. These are tailored components or subsystems that play a crucial role in overall system reliability. All these checks are interconnected. Together, they give us a comprehensive picture of system health and readiness. Consistent verification through OCT helps us maintain safety, efficiency, and reliability in our operations. Let's take a closer look at the different types of test cases we use to ensure system reliability and safety. First, we have the normal operating conditions, which simulate how the system performs under standard, everyday scenarios. This helps us verify that everything functions as expected during typical use. Next, we have upper and lower limit testing, where we push the system to its maximum and minimum limits to see how it responds under extreme but plausible conditions. Then, there are worst-case challenge tests, designed to push the system to its limits in challenging scenarios, ensuring robustness. We also perform failure mode and fault simulation, where we intentionally introduce faults to see if the system correctly detects and manages them. Safety protection system challenge tests are crucial. They verify that safety mechanisms activate properly under fault conditions to protect both the system and users. Alarm and interlock verification checks that alarms trigger appropriately and interlock mechanisms engage when necessary, preventing unsafe operations. Lastly, repeatability and reproducibility checks ensure that tests produce consistent results over multiple runs, confirming reliability over time. All these test case types are integral to OCT, helping us identify potential issues early and guaranteeing the system's performance, safety, and resilience in real-world applications. Let's talk about the key aspects involved in verifying our automation and control systems. First, PLC, SCADA, and HMI program logic verification is crucial to ensure that all control algorithms and interfaces operate correctly under various conditions. This step helps us catch any potential errors early on. Next, we need to maintain strict software version and configuration control, so we know exactly which versions are in use and can manage updates systematically. User access levels and authorization tests are also vital. They help us confirm that only authorized personnel can make changes or access sensitive data, which is essential for security and compliance. Alongside that, audit trail functionality checks ensure we have a detailed record of all activities, changes, and system events, providing transparency and accountability. We also verify alarm logs and event logs to confirm that critical alerts are recorded accurately and can be reviewed when needed. Backup and restore functionality checks are performed to guarantee data integrity and system recovery capabilities in case of failures. Regarding compliance, we ensure our system is ready for 21 CFR Part 11 and Annex 11, which set the standards for electronic records and signatures, especially in regulated environments. Network and communication integrity checks confirm that data transmission remains secure and reliable across all connected devices. Lastly, automation and software checks serve as ongoing assessments to verify that all software components function correctly and support the overall system integrity. All these efforts are interconnected. They form a comprehensive verification process that ensures our automation systems are robust, compliant, and ready to support safe and efficient operations. Let's take a closer look at some of the critical operational parameters that ensure our processes run smoothly. First, temperature distribution is vital. Maintaining consistent temperatures across equipment helps prevent product variability and ensures quality. Next, pressure control is equally important. Precise pressure management can influence everything from mixing to the stability of the product. Speaking of mixing and agitation, these processes are key to achieving uniformity, especially in formulations that require thorough blending. Drying parameters also play a crucial role, as they directly impact the final product's moisture content and stability. When it comes to filling and dispensing, accuracy here is essential to meet quality standards and minimize waste. Flow control is another critical aspect. Controlling fluid movement ensures process consistency and efficiency. And if your operation involves environmental factors, such as temperature or humidity, these conditions must be monitored and controlled when applicable, since they can significantly affect product quality and process stability. All these factors, temperature, pressure, mixing, drying, filling, flow, and environmental conditions, are what we refer to as critical operational parameters. Managing them carefully is key to achieving reliable, high-quality outcomes in our processes. They are interconnected and collectively support the overall integrity of our production system. On this slide, we're looking at what the OCT summary report includes, and it's quite comprehensive. First, it covers the test execution overview, giving a clear picture of how the testing phase went. Then, we have the operational compliance status, which confirms whether the system meets the required standards and specifications. Next, it details any deviations and their resolutions, important because it shows how issues were identified and addressed. Traceability to the user requirements specification, or URS, and the design qualification, or DQ, is also included, ensuring that all testing aligns back to the original requirements. Approval for the performance qualification, or PQ, is another key point. This indicates formal acceptance that the system performs as intended. Moving on, the report documents deviations, which means recording discrepancies found during testing. It also includes an impact assessment, evaluating how these deviations might affect the overall system or project. Corrective action planning is essential here. It outlines the steps to resolve the deviations. If necessary, there's also a linkage with change control processes, ensuring that any significant changes are properly managed and documented. Finally, the section on deviations, change control, and summary ties everything together, emphasizing that managing deviations and changes is critical to maintaining control and ensuring a successful project outcome. This slide highlights the importance of thorough documentation and clear traceability throughout the testing and validation process, which ultimately supports our overall goal of system integrity and regulatory compliance. Let's take a moment to look at some of the key regulatory references that guide our qualification and validation processes. First, we have the EU GMP Annex 15, which provides comprehensive guidelines on qualification and validation, specifically within the European Union. It emphasizes a science and risk-based approach to ensure quality and compliance. Next, the FDA's 21 CFR Part 211 and 11 set forth the requirements for pharmaceutical manufacturing and quality systems in the United States. These regulations are foundational for ensuring product safety and efficacy. We also consider the WHO guidelines on equipment qualification, which offer globally recognized standards aimed at maintaining consistency and quality across different regions. The ASTM E2500 standard introduces a science and risk-based approach to equipment qualification, encouraging a more flexible and efficient validation process grounded in scientific principles. Additionally, the ISPE baseline guides provide practical, industry-specific best practices that support our regulatory compliance efforts. And finally, GAMP5 offers essential principles for software validation, ensuring our computerized systems function reliably and meet regulatory expectations. All of these references form a solid foundation, guiding us to maintain high standards in qualification and validation, and ultimately ensuring product quality and patient safety across our global operations. OCT, or Operational Qualification Testing, is essential to ensure that all equipment and systems are performing as they should. It helps us verify their functional performance, making sure everything operates reliably during routine use. Safety is a key focus here, because we want to confirm that the equipment meets all safety standards to protect personnel and product integrity. Compliance is also a critical aspect, demonstrating that we adhere to regulatory requirements and guidelines. During OCT, we also showcase equipment and system readiness for process qualification, or PQ, which is the next step in validating that the process consistently produces quality results. This testing provides concrete evidence that our systems are compliant with regulations, giving confidence that everything is in control. Furthermore, OCT ensures that our operational capabilities are robust enough for everyday GMP activities. It's about establishing a solid foundation so that routine operations can be carried out smoothly and reliably. In conclusion, OCT ties everything together by confirming that our systems are ready, compliant, safe, and capable of supporting ongoing manufacturing efforts, an essential step in maintaining quality and regulatory compliance throughout the product lifecycle. For further support, please contact us. We're here to help with any questions or additional information you might need. Don't hesitate to reach out. Your success is our priority. Thank you so much for your time and attention today.